Hello there. Today I'm looking at Forbidden Desert. I've just bought this, haven't played it yet. I will do a full review when I have done. But I bought this because I like this. This is Forbidden Island, first game in a series in which it's a cooperative experience where you're trying to get 4 treasures and get to a helicopter and escape while an island is sinking. And it uses mechanics very similar to Pandemic, and there's a good reason for this, because they're all Pandemic, and both of these two are all written by Matt Leacock. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that'll do. Anyway, we'll get to Forbidden Island properly another day, because there's quite a lot to say about that. But the matter in hand is this. This is produced by Game Right, who typically do a lot of children's games / educational, I suppose, but they do a few gamers games, I suppose you'd say. I tend to call them proper games, but I suppose I might be being a bit snobbish there. But anyway, as with the Forbidden Island, it comes in a lovely tin, and on the back we've got a little view of what the game will be like. Now I'll read you this description. Forbidden Desert, first for survival. Let's just find a nice picture for you to look at while I read this. Here we are. Gear up for a thrilling adventure to recover a legendary flying machine. Buried deep in the ruins of an ancient desert city, you'll need to coordinate with your teammates and use every available resource if you if you hope to survive the scorching heat and a relentless sandstorm. Find the flying machine and escape before you all become permanent artifacts of a forbidden desert. Now, I've got a feeling that this isn't going to be terribly much different from Forbidden Island, except that instead of getting to the helicopter, you need to find the pieces of this flying ship here. And I would expect that the sand builds up instead of the island sinking, but we'll see. I'm guessing. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, lid's a little bit stiff there. Oh, we've got a nice shiny instruction book. There we go, with nice diagrams of how all the movement works, and the turn order, and what the special tiles mean, and symbols, and so on. And here we have the characters you can play. It says on here 2 to, I think it was 5 players, or maybe 4, I should check. 2 to 5. But I've also found, as well as playing this as a cooperative game, or playing this series, Forbidden Island, as a cooperative game, it's quite a nice laid-back solo game. Forbidden Island is on the iPad, and I play it on there, and it's kind of, it knows very well that it's a solo game as well, because you get to choose between 2 and 4 people, I think. In fact, I'll probably, when I cover Forbidden Island properly, I'll do the iPad game at the same time for comparison. But anyway, you have different characters, as shown here. These are of a navigator. I think navigator might be in the other game. But basically they have a special ability. So we've got cards representing those, and they are just your standard pawns in game. This, if it's anything like the last one, will be the depth of the sand. And again, assuming it is similar to the previous game, each time a particular card comes around, it'll trigger the cards that have already come out to go back in. And in the previous game, each one would get turned over to show sort of a semi-flooded condition, and one of the actions you could do was to shore up an area. So you had 3 actions, and you had to try and get the stuff, being very careful to make sure you didn't block yourself off from the helicopter or from where you needed to be for the treasure while collecting cards. But as I say, I'll go into all that properly another time. But that is very similar to the tide marker although noticeably you've got different sides of this for different numbers of players, and the difficulty, although for some reason it seems to be written in Arabic, even though I bought this from Waterstones in England. It cost $19.99, by the way, which I think is pretty good. So here we have the boat, which is an interesting item, very nicely made. And on top of that we have this, which I'm assuming is either a sundial or a compass of some description, and that just clicks in there somehow. If I can get it in the right position. There we go. Something like that. We have a propeller which goes on the back. A little difficult to do this through the viewfinder, but we'll try. There we are. And don't know what that bit is. Oh, yes I do. That slots into there. I'll just get these bits out of the way. And here is the rather nice, very shiny metal engine. So let's slot that into position as well and have a look at this boat. It's very steampunk, and I approve of that. I like steampunk things. So a little overproduced, I suppose, but I am a fan of overproducing parts in games. You could have done this with some cards. Card for the boat, card for the engine, card for the navigation thingy, whatever that is. Whoa, there goes the camera, and so on. But it's very nice to have a little in-game prop. So you've got a decent physical representation of what you're trying to do. Trying to get this boat together, presumably, and fly away on your little stubby wooden wings. So that is that. Let's see what we have here. So the cards: climber, meteorologist, archaeologist, water carrier, navigator and explorer. They are your characters. They correspond to the coloured pieces, and as I said, each have a special ability. And we've got dune blasters, jetpacks and solar shields. Oh, and terrascopes and time throttle. So these will be your special event cards that you can normally play these sort of things at any time. I think they all say that. Yeah, play at any time. So let's see. Remove all sand from your tile or from an adjacent tile. Sandblaster. Glorified leaf blower. Jetpack. Move to any unblocked tile. Because obviously normally in these games you can move one tile as one action. But with that, discard it to use it. And you can fly over to wherever you want to be. Solar shield, let's see. You and other pawns on your tile may ignore the effects of sun beats down. Well, I don't know what that means yet, but there we are. Terrascope, peek under any unexcavated tile. Alright. So, let's see. Secret water reserve. All players on your tile receive 2 water. Not sure how that works. It's quite different. And take 2 more actions this turn of a time throttle. So, those are your specials for that. And then we have these odd cards, which I can only assume, because as this is a first impressions video, I've deliberately not read the rules yet. These would probably correspond to movement, I would guess. And then, here is sun beats down. Let's see. Players each lose 1 water unless they're in a tunnel or under a solar shield. How is a water represented? I don't know yet. Oh, I've just found another piece. That, I reckon, is going to hold this. Aha! There we go. Nice little stand. Move back a little bit. Yeah, there we are. So, another big bit of plastic for some reason. Oh, and then we've got these, which are presumably the arrows to travel up the, I don't know, sandometer, whatever you want to call it. So, sun beats down and storm picks up. Move the sandstorm marker. Up 1 tick mark. Aha! So that's the... yeah. That thing. Oh dear, not too coherent today. Well, it's very late. I'm doing this at midnight. It's been a long day. But anyway, there's the cards. And then we have these, which are quite interesting. We've got a lot of them, and they seem to represent the sand. Whoops. Sandy on one side, and a cross on the other side. I wonder if they've all got a cross. Maybe this is how you discover. No, it looks like they all do have a cross. Thought that might be how you find where the treasure is, but no. This is going to be quite a lot different from the last game, quite pleasingly. Because there's lots of things I'm not recognising. And then we have various locations, which, as always with Game Right games, extremely nice artwork. And nice thick cards, which can take quite a beating because I suspect this is going to get a lot of play. There we go, lots and lots, all symbols and things. Don't know what any of it means yet, but we'll get to that when I've played it. Tunnels, workshop, I don't know, all sorts of nice things. And a well. Ah, water. Said something about water. Well, there we go. There's the contents. So, to recap, we have got nice ground tiles. We have got a lot of sand tiles, which are also really nicely done. Nice thick card. And then we've got the various cards of the characters, utilities, and whatever that is. Sandstorm moving, possibly. Wooden people, sandometer thing, and this rather lovely boat. And all in a nice big tin. And a catalogue of other things, but whatever. So, first impressions, very, very good. I think if this is anything like the last game, it is going to be extremely good fun. I like cooperative games in general, and Pandemic and Forbidden Island have both had a lot of play in this house. There's some more of a gorgeous art for you. So I'm going to play this as soon as possible, hopefully tomorrow, and if I do, I will post a video as soon as possible to let you know what I think of it, and maybe I'll do a Forbidden Island one shortly after as well. Okay, so that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I waffled on a bit, but I find this kind of thing interesting, especially that boat. So there's going to be a lot more board and card games coming up on this channel, as well as my usual puzzle cubes and all the rest of it. So if you like this video, that would be nice. If you subscribe, that would be nicer. So subscribe and like if you like, and hopefully I will see you again. Goodbye.